Yeah, and now we're jumping into the first game of the wildcard stage. It's going to be KBG going up against S2G.
An interesting skirmish already at the start of the game. I'm definitely going to be putting my eyes onto the emblems first here. And this is going to be the war cry, by the way, for Sigibum. And for the other side, LMU Impure Rage. We've been seeing a whole lot more Impure Rage nowadays, by the way. And it does seem like it's kind of a swap here. So it's actually Saksa on the Nolan. What are your thoughts on this? You've seen Saksa before, back when he was an SMG.
So I feel like Saksa is using the tankier junglers just because it's the meta, right? You kind of have to adapt to it. But Saksa is still pretty good on those assassins. And we look here, Tracy is trying to slow down S2G and try to actually make it so that Saksa is able to farm up much faster going up against Frederick. And now, Karo is low, and LMU goes in. He wants Karo.
No, flickers forward. Saksa's still going to be able to steal away that green camp, and it'll be a little bit of an early invade for KBG, getting them in the lead and utilizing that clear speed of the Nolan. Even in the bottom lane, Wawa actually winning out against Sigibum here, and that's not really a good look for the Roger. This is a winning matchup for the Roger, and it does seem like for KBG, they want to continue with this pace. Already invading again, trying to go for the steal, and I think he did get it. It's a two-man Jeet Kune Do, and with that range, the additional speed, Saksa jumps into the back line, doesn't have the fracture, but will be able to chase begin straight up first blood in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, and now this is where KeepBest Gaming are going to start the snowball. Sigibum, I feel like he's having a hard time trying to proc the war cry. Like, he has full proc there, but he's not going for the trade.
Okay, so the pulled back, and KBG continue again as 2 kills on the board up against the Group A favorites.
Mirko, we talked about it. The more we say about one team, the opposite will happen. And we're seeing a showcase here. KeepBest Gaming having 2 kills over S2G, and now they have Prio on the turtle. Looks like they're going to get it for free. So now in terms of the goal lead, they're going to snowball a lot. And I got to talk about the Impure Rage on this Paramis. It's amazing for a lineup of S2G because now it deals on max HP. So the more HP that you have, the more damage the LMU will deal. So going up against a draft with an Eden, with a Fredrin, as well as an X-Borg, his damage might even be higher than Wawa.
Certainly, man, but you can already see that Tracy is being an absolute menace. Karo still hasn't hit level 4.
Oh my goodness.
In the second minute of the game here, is already first hurdle done, and I really wonder why he hasn't been able to hit level 4 yet. Kazoo is doing a good job. Tracy goes over to Jeet Kune Do, gets canceled down with the onward there. Not able to get the Way of the Dragon fully on Karo, but Saksa wants to go in, has a fracture. Karo flickers out to safety. And KBG will still be able to be comfortably in the lead in the first 2 minutes. Kazoo with a little bit of a steal there.
You know what's uncomfortable here is that seeing a tank jungler getting bullied inside of his own jungle. We don't see this a lot, and that's why you usually see the tank junglers being the prio, because you want to make sure that you have a good time farming up, and even if you lose farm, it's completely fine. Sigibum, as of this point, it looks like he's having trouble, but LMU already using the ult.
On the way, the Dragon straight into the fracture. Saksa to be able to pick up 1 kill. Now his Pure Destruction doesn't connect, but Kazoo's still going to be caught now as the passive keeps on going. Fraser's Wrath connects into LMU, and Kazoo's able to get out. Now Tracy going for the chase under the turret, looking for the last kill onto him, but it will just be Tracy traded in. A bit of overextension. It's just a roamer traded in for 2 members, as some of these skirmishes in lane are actually looking all good for KBG.
Yeah, looking very good, in fact, for KBG. Now, in terms of goal difference, it's 11.6 for KBG, 9.7 for S2G Esports. Now, the thing is, S2G, they still have a way to come back into this game. Let Lunar have 2 items. He has War Axe. It looks like he's skipping the boots. After this, perhaps he's going for an Immortality. After the Immortality, he can start going for the more aggressive fights. And then maybe they can do something about it, because for now, S2G is losing all the lanes, but they're rushing this turtle.
We'll try to get it now with the Fredrin. Tracy jumping to Jeet Kune Do, gets out with the Shunfu as well. Now Karo has a final wrap, but that's going to be penalty zone, locking him down with his way. The Dragon actually brings them back all the way to damage for destruction as well. And that's going to be a steal for Saksa. Begin getting knocked up, and now straight into the collapse of KBG. 7-1. That's a good Shadow Stampede to bring Kazoo out of the turret as KBG continue this straight into the mid lane, giving Wawa all of the hits as Tracy zones him in the back.
I like the tempo that KeepBest Gaming is playing. They're picking on the pace, making sure that they're moving around the map very, very fast, and slowing down S2G at the same time. I gotta say, this strategy is working very well because of Tracy. The fact that Tracy slows down the mid-trio of S2G, giving so much space for Saksa as well as LMU to move around. Like, he might not be the overall MVP, but for setting all of this up, Tracy's the MVP, man.
Sure, all the way from the start, setting up that steal on the green camp for Saksa, enabling him to be able to just farm and path up so well. There's 2 levels up on the Fredrin. Should just be down to 1 now as he picks up the green camp again. And Sigibum is really struggling to get that snowball.
LMU now as well having the glowing wand, so the healing coming in from S2G is not really going to be there. Tracy at this point, he can go for the pickoffs because Saksa has a lot of damage, and Saksa now has the Sky Piercer. So if we think that the early game is good, it's going to be much better. Hunter Strike, Sky Piercer, that's a lot of damage.
It does seem like now the Purple Wolf is going to be invaded. Karo already down to a quarter of his HP. Will he be able to regen back to half? As KBG continue this, poking onto the purple buff, goes for the steal, but Kazoo will be able to time that red tree a bit better than Saksa to recover. But it's still a 5,000 gold lead almost for KBG as they continue to scale up. And that's what's scary here. The Moscow, he can get to that late point very, very soon.
Here's the thing, I kind of feel like S2G, they need to move as a team very, very fast. If they can get a kill onto Saksa, Saksa is 5-0-2, so he has the shutdown goal. If you're able to shut down Saksa, your entire team, this goal difference of 5,000 can be lowered to 2,000, or, you know, worst case scenario, 3,000. And at that point, there's still a big fighting chance. So for this turtle, I feel like for S2G, instead of focusing on the turtle, try to get Saksa. If you get the shutdown goal, it's big. KeepBest Gaming can get the turtle, doesn't matter. Kill Saksa. That's objective number 1.
Okay, but in the bottom lane we can definitely see Wow, dealing a whole lot of damage. Frog Armor taken out, forcing the last Insanity before the team fight even starts. And Tracy finds a way to drag and brings Begin back to the team. See you doing a good job at zoning them. KBG, good destruction up top.
It hits,
and he goes for it. Now with the Spirit of Misery as well, forcing the Purify out of Sigibum. Won't be able to go for the turret. Wawa continues this chase, has another Abyss Walker, but he decides not to overextend. A free turtle over to KBG, and Kazoo is going to be able to secure that now. Saksa puts on some damage. Karo as well in the mid lane, forced back. It's going to be a free tier 1 to KBG.
This is not good because S2G, the way that they draft, they have the X4 to go up against the Turizla. They got the Roger first pick. 100% they wanted to win the lanes. The fact that they did not win the lanes is very tough.
Buff given. Begin still able to steal it away, but look at the damage just from the Ghost versus Lapel. Oh, Karo goes for Earth Shatter now, gets knocked up. No.
Oh, even Kazoo gets cancelled.
Dash away from that onward, or rather from that Zukundo with the onward. And LMU continues this with the Stampede. That glowing wand, man. Let's talk a little bit about that, right? The new changes to the glowing wand. You kind of have that NOD effect as well.
Now you got the life bane, so that the healing, the sustain coming in from S2G is going to get cut in half. The shields is going to get cut in half. And you still have the glowing wand passive where you're burning your opponents for their current HP. So even you're trying to recall, it's going to be very, very difficult. And now looking at the items here, 3 items for Saksa, a lot of on-hit damage. And looking at the Moscow, he's just a few hundred gold away from the 200 sword. And now he's completed his Demon Hunter sword. So in terms of power spike, KeepBest Gaming has hit it. So now they can do whatever they want because they are at an end game point.
Okay, Tracy walks up again and trying to zone them away. Lunar's doing a lot of damage. By the way, Wawa, the fact that he hasn't hit the DHS before, and it kind of looked like he did already.
Oh, yeah. Dealing
so much damage. Lunar is so far behind. The XP lane down, onward. Oh, not able to connect there. Not even able to go for the Earth Shadow. Gets pinned down to the wall by the Spear of Misery, and LMU just bursts him down with a Ghost Burster. Say goodbye to the Faraga armor. 2 Spirit Destruction. I don't think he wants to take it, though. Just wants to go for the turret in the bottom lane. That's another tier 2 with Karo dead right as the Lord is going to spawn in the game.
You know what's the difference maker here for Wawa? Is that he has the Inspire, man. Usually in tournament play, we see the Flickers, we see the Purifies. So Wawa understands that he has to go big or he's going to go home. So he goes for the Inspire. And I feel like the Inspire is the reason why he's been winning the lane. And in the team fights, even without the Demon Hunter sword, you see a lot of damage. And he's very generous at proccing the Inspire whenever a fight looks like it's going to break out. He will use it just to zone people away.
I think now, for Sigiboom, the fact that, you know, he's down, he only has a Windtalker and a Sky Piercer. Not even the Endless Battle just yet. Meanwhile, the scaling hero, Wawa, on that Moscow. Hold up, LMU. Walks up the Stampede. Tracy's doing a good job. He's getting out of these taunts, Earth Shatter DCC with the Shun Pool. And you know, we've had a talk off stream about how good the Cho is.
Yeah.
As XP or as damage dealer, but now as a roamer, it seems, is it Prio, Lapel?
I feel like it's only Prio because Cho is one of those heroes you can make a mistake on. So if you're really, like, if you have 300 games on a Cho, yeah, prio. Definitely.
Okay, so these turrets, that splash gonna be they're gonna be able to get rid of it before the Lord even spawns in, by the way, or actually charges in. So KBG have a very, very good road. Wawa going to go for the Spear of Misery onto Sigeboom, forcing him back once again. They're gonna go for the siege now. That's gonna be a good Earth Shatter and an armor combo. LMU forcing hop into Netherrealm, but look at the base turret, taking very low in the back. Oh, it's a fracture for Saksa as the penalty zone knocks them down. A Spear of Destruction now pinning them down into the wall, but it's gonna be a good taunt there, and it will take Wawa down. Kazoo, that damage just chunking him down, but he's still able to survive. 1-tier-1 up top, taken down. They're gonna go for mid lane as well, but now Sigeboom wants to go for chase, has the Lycan Pounds, gets kicked back by Tracy. An amazing disengage as they pick a base turret off. Lord, Blast Insanity in the 1v3 with the Farago armor. Tracy's still able to get Kundo out of it. That additional range.
Dude, the extra 20% range, it helped out a lot. Tracy was able to survive with the Jig Kundo, and I gotta say for KeepBest Gaming, good news, bad news. Bad news, yes, Wawa got taken down. The good news is that he did not have any kills. So even though he was taken down, he didn't transfer any shutdown gold. So now we see the goal difference. There is not much goal difference that S2G was able to get back, because now it's still around 8,000, 9,000 gold lead for KeepBest Gaming. So it's still them controlling the entire match. So if Wawa had 3 kills, perhaps they would have swung for S2G. But the fact that he had 0 kills, not much has changed.
Interesting. Trying to walk up here, Kazoo doing a good job of consuming them and holding them off, but it's 10-3, a 9,000 gold lead in the first 11 minutes of the game as they just play it so disciplinedly at this point. They're just freezing up the waves.
Looking at the items, Saksa is already full build. He even has a rose gold meter to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake. Perhaps he's going to sell it off for an immortality in case things go wrong. Looking at the items for Roger, he has 3 items as well. He has the Sky Piercer. The only thing is that he does not have any stacks, and this is where we see Sky Piercer's nerf actually being a big factor. From 6% now to 4% is going to be more difficult for S2G to drop down KeepBest Gaming for the lethality to proc. So yeah, Sigeboom with 0 kills is going to be rough.
And they can't even walk up, not here. KBG pick up a free Enhanced Lord in the 12th minute of the game. 0 turtles, 0 lords, 0 turrets, no objectives whatsoever for S2G.
Let me just say, Mirko, your vlog asking every single caster what their opinion is, it's gonna do well. I feel like it's gonna do well.
It's gonna be very,
it's gonna be very commentated.
I think so, you know, like, especially now considering Sigeboom in the 12th minute has finally gone the Milfic Roar. It looks tough for them to pull off this defense. They do have a Yi, by the way, so let's see how they go at it on the siege. Tracy walking up again onto Kazoo, who's still able to go disengage for a bit, but that's 2 tier 3s taken out, 2 base turrets taken out. KBG gonna go again. Range C, oh my god! That's the way the Dragon, bringing him back with the flicker. Spirit Destruction into the backline as well as he decides to go for it. No, just go straight for the base, and KBG win out game number 1.
KBG, man, coming up. Like I said, from the previous wildcard, they're like, you know what, we want to be #1 in the group. This time, they're going to prove it. But we got to talk about S2G as well, where I kind of feel like